If you're a sim racing fan, which most likely you are since you're watching this broadcast, you've been introduced to drivers from around the planet and have had the opportunity to learn how customs and traditions vary depending on global location. For example, with this being the holiday season, did you know that the Swedish version of Santa Claus doesn't own a herd of flying reindeer and sneak into homes via the chimney while everyone's asleep? Nope, the Swedes are much more practical. For them, gifts come with the simple knock on the door during convenient waking hours. So with that in mind, it should be no surprise how this series' current point leader has earned that lead. The Swede with speed, Alex Jansson, is putting on a no-nonsense performance, a matter-of-fact, workmanlike dismantling of his competition. A no-frill, simple knock on the door, Merry Christmas, here's your participation award because the championship trophy is being etched with my name. Sanctioned by the Absolute Beginners League from Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, it's the penultimate round of the Formula Neagle Season 15 Championship, and all the simulated Formula Renault 2.0 action from green flag to victory donuts comes to you live as it happens right here on the Global SimRacing Channel. Hello and welcome to another GSRC broadcast. Stefan Schlocker joining yours truly, Bill Soups On, to bring you our Word's Eye view. Sean Crackers Ambrose has director duties, armed with cameras locked and loaded by Dougie Beard. Okay, pulling back the curtain of this GSRC broadcast, truth be told, this commentator is finding it more difficult each round to set the stage for the upcoming event because the story never changes. Alex Jansson has been near perfect, and honestly, that alone is worth the watch. But if there ever was a track that could change things in the blink of an eye, it's the tight confines of today's venue. Stefan, tell us about today's racetrack.
Well, also first from me, bonjour de Montréal. Circuit Gilles Villeneuve is one of those road courses with an identity crisis. It isn't a street course, but it also isn't a permanent road course. It's a temporary closed road course, meaning it's a park all day every day unless F1 turns up. 1978, a fairy tale was born. Gilles Villeneuve wins the inaugural event of the Canadian Formula 1 Group. Back then, quite a different looking track. Through its history, this track was majorly straightened. What once was the casino chicane is now the casino strip. What once was the Pitts hairpin is now Le Pangle, the hairpin linkage. The Virage Senna didn't have a kink, but a chicane leading up to it. So you can see this track was made quite a bit faster over the 40 years of its existence. In my opinion, this track was made to be awesome. But why not have you hop on board with our GSRC lap guide to show you how awesome this track really is.
Alright, we've got Amjad Yammer to the GSRC Formula Renault 2.0, so let's do a lap around Montreal. Coming down to turn 1, this seems like a great passing opportunity on the surface, but the way the track switches back into a hairpin makes it very difficult to complete the overtake, no matter which side you're on. Making sure you can get to the power early is really going to be the important aspect of the Senna S anyway. As the track gently curves to the right, hold to the left side as we approach turn 3. We'll have a fast entry into the chicane, but the exit is the worrisome part because there's just a wall and nothing else to the outside. Then 5 is a flat-out left-right flick, but hug the right side of the track so that you can straight line the braking for 6. Do your best to open up the second apex because this will dump us onto the backstretch where you're on the power for a decent amount of time. The main thing here is to keep an eye out for the bridge because it'll give you a frame of reference on where you can line up the car to brake into turn 8. The curbs on the inside of the chicane are pretty tall, so be careful about how hard you hit them. Once again, exit speed is critical, and especially here. We're now heading into the casino hairpin, which is the only braking zone that isn't a chicane. That makes it the most straightforward place to attempt to pass. But because it's so slow into this sharp 180-degree bend, it's very common to see drivers outbrake themselves at this corner. That's where an over-under comes in handy to really frustrate your opponents. From here, it's the longest flat-out portion of the track, plunging us directly into the tightest chicane on the track. This is easily the most popular overtaking spot on the track. The draft will reel you in, and the heavy braking makes it seem possible to send one up the inside. But be careful of the Wall of Champions. Take too much curb and you could find yourself plastered all over that infamous concrete. Hopefully, you were able to keep the car off it, and as we come to the line, we've now finished a lap around Montreal.
a lap around Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. You know, there's a lot of talk about the new versions of the Formula Renault coming out, but honestly, the one you're looking at right there, this version 2.0, puts on a pretty good show, and that's what we're going to see here today. Let's go ahead and see the show that is the point standings, and I'll try to make these as exciting as I can, but honestly, the Swede with speed, Alex Johnson, is in position to clinch this championship today. He's up by 43 points right now. That's more than can be gained by any result. So if he has any kind of a decent finish, Dennis Garrison, Ali Hay are not going to be in the mix for that finale. But how about that battle for second? There's the tie. Garrison actually has a win, and Alistair Hay, I don't want to... It's kind of a backhanded compliment here, but he has really overachieved today. It's been very impressive this season for Ali Hay as he sits in second, up a point. Now, longtime veteran David Third Degree Burns, he's back there, 61 back. He's only a point up against Mr. Excitement. Boy, I tell you, the Finn, Timo Roikku, he can really put on a show. Let's go ahead and take a look at the F2 Championship. And this one, unlike the F1 Championship, a lot closer. Josh Brain and Daniel Solo come into this one tied, baby. So we'll keep an eye on that. Who's ever going to finish ahead of each other will be the points champion on this one, going or leads the leader going into that final event. Now, it's only 8 points back for Eric Local, but remember, points are harder to come by down here because they don't score as many. So that 8 points is a tough, it's going to be a tough gap to close. Then you see the last two drivers there tied for, well, actually, 130 back, that's Paulo Fredo, and then Camille Smola, our former points leader in this category, now in 5th position. All right, the points are out of the way. We've talked about the track. We've done some kind of convoluted intro. Let's go ahead, something more straightforward. Stefan, tell us about the race team. Oh, no, wait, I have teams to do. Sorry. Come on, Soup, you've been doing this for a while. Look at this one. This is also a blowout here as well. So you have NHR Esports well up ahead of Virtual Motorsports, 77 points back. And again, that's all done by what Alex Johnson has been doing. He's the solo effort there. Garrison, the second place driver, that's his team in second. We do have a little teamwork going on down there from Two Stupid Dogs with David Third Degree Byrne and Vincent Brain doing the work there. 8 points back of them is Mikkel Hoffledason. Mikkel's serving a penalty, as the rumor I've heard. He won't be racing today. The Strudelmeister, Thomas Kick, his partner. And then Team Talent with Liam Quinn doing solo effort down there. Now we go to the race details, if I can follow the script. Seven, what's going on?
Well, you asked earlier for straightforward event details. You shall receive slowly. Season 15, as you said, round 5 of 6, we have 0 drops, so Jönsson, just bring it home, baby, and you are the winner here. Race distance, 60 minutes, setups are completely open, so you shall tinker away as much as you want. Fuel, it's restricted 30%, so you need 2 stops to complete today's race. Incident cap, we have 24 incidents, and Soup, quite frankly, I don't think that anyone will even get into double digits here.
Yeah, too many walls to pick up too many incidents here and still be racing. All right, we've got all the business out of the way. Now we can turn our attention to the business on the track as qualifying has started. And they start to roll in. We've got 11, 12 drivers putting in times now as everyone getting in those laps. There's our tentative pole sitter, Michael Kaiser. We saw Michael show up last round. He was quick.
He was quick indeed, and honestly, he showed promising durability in that race. So it will be interesting to see what Kaiser can do this time around.
Keeping the drama, Alex Johnson yet to put in a time. He's trying to serve Alex is out on the track. Yeah, he's out now. There we're looking at our tentative pole sitter. His lap time was a 1:33.420. About 4 tenths faster than David Burns. I don't think this lap is going to be any quicker, so you've got some traffic this time.
Yeah, he's right now on a bit of a cooldown lap, as they would call it in F1 here. Last lap wasn't a timed lap. This lap probably had a mistake early on, so he is gonna shoot for a fast time at this time around.
One of the interesting rules in this series is it's open qualifying, so they're all out there together, but they only get, I think it's 3 laps that they get to put in, 3 hot laps. So you can use your teammate to get it up.
Oh.
And there's Fabian Youngblood who's looking to put in a time, but that one's not going to count. One more race after this one.
One final race, yes. It's kind of sad that this series is already pretty much over, but that's the joy of absolute beginners Formula Neagle here. Just a very quick 6 rounds and then we're already done with the series.
That's very true. It's a double-edged sword. Yes, the series ends quick, but at least we don't have to go. We're not to the halfway point, and we have to just run out the string here with Alex Johnson. What he's doing, he's going to be tough to catch. Speaking of Johnson, he is out there still looking to put in that first time, heading down in towards the hairpin right now. We're on Alejandro Liero. Let's go ahead. We'll see what Johnson can do. Racing in the car number 96. Oh, Liero's going to get the time here. There's Johnson. All right, let's go ahead and see where he puts this one. Into that final chicane.
Bit of a slide there out of the chicane. Let's see what he can do as he will come over the line in next moment. Alex Johnson with a 33.415, 3/10 slower than Michael Kaiser.
Zoom up in second. Gets that one out of the way. Now you can see what else he has in store for us.
This last lap was about 2/10 slower than his so far fastest lap in practice. So Alex Johnson still has some way to go. Maybe it was just a bit of a safety lap, so to speak. We shall see what Alex can put out of his Formula Renault 2.0 the next time.
Why don't we take this opportunity to look at the weather, see what they're dealing with here today. Bring that up for you. There you can see it in Fahrenheit, but since most of our, well, the drivers at least are European, what does that translate into Celsius?
Well, it is 27 degrees Celsius in the air and 29 Celsius on the track, so we are quite on the cold side today. Obviously, we're in Canada, so that is a tiny little bit expected here in November. No, December, I'm sorry. Yeah, mostly cloudy. Winds are 13 kilometers or 8 miles per hour here. They're not varying all too much, so we will not see anyone have problems with any gusts or stuff.
Across the line now, we're looking at Vincent Rain racing the dogs. Into the first corner, one of the interesting characteristics of this track is the first corner actually pulls away from the center of the track. Usually, if you're going clockwise, as this track does, the first corner is usually a right-hander. Not here, it's a left-hander. I always like that. If you don't know who you're looking at, just ask him. He is I Am Keenan.
And Keenan puts in a 40.5, so he had a big mistake there, losing 6 seconds on his fastest lap so far, so no improvement for Keenan.
Kaiser and Keenan, both a couple new names that have come in the last part of this season. Look forward to them making a full run for season 16. They'll be coming up in 2019. There's the driver that has a win this season, Dennis Garrison.
Garrison, 33.8, 3/10 slower than his fastest lap so far, and that was already his 4th lap, so he is done for qualifying as of right now.
This guy's always fun to watch, Ali Cuoca.
Oh, Jensen into 2nd place. Well, he was already in 2nd place, but he creeped about 500th into the lap of Michael Kaiser, and yeah, not enough for Jönsson to take over the pole here.
But it's going to be close. Kaiser put in a .135, Jönsson put in a .181. There's Ollie Kuoka, yet to put in a time. This will be his lap. He's not going to have any more time left after this.
Quite a lot of people didn't put a lap in so far. So.
Only 19 put in qualifying times. Looks like about 6 to 7 that have yet to put in a time. Kuoka hoping not to be one of those.
And Auken already reported 3 cars will not start this race as they are not in the server. So we will start this race probably with about 24 drivers.
That is an appropriate number of cars on this track. Kuoka through the hairpin. This will give you an opportunity to look. Go ahead.
Sorry, I just want to say down the Casino Street where once was the pit lane here on this track. Obviously then the Casino chicane, and now we're coming up to the new pit buildings here at the Wall of Champions. He traverses it quite perfectly, to be honest. Puts 2 tires there on the grass on the straight. Let's see what he can do.
I don't think it's going to count. Yep, that one not going to get there. You know what? He made it across, and there is still 10 seconds left to go. I think he's going to get to complete this one if I know my iRacing rules. Open qualifying, you get to finish your hot lap.
I'm pretty sure that the timer's already up. So,
nope,
there we go.
They're going to stop him. He's not going to get to do it. So, bad news for Ollie. Let's go ahead and give you the grid. We'll do them 10 at a time since it's a standing start. Michael Kaiser is on the pole. He's going to be flanked by points leader Alex Jönsson. Row 2 is Dennis Garrison, sided by David Third Degree Burns. Daniel Muth, a new name there. Josh Brain in 6th position. Ian Keeman, well, he is in 7th. Yal Valverde, the Portuguese driver, in 8th. Row 5, Vincent Bream and Fabian Young with 7th.
Thomas Kick is your 11th place driver, right beside Daniel Solo in 12th, Alejandro Leiro in 13th, Paulo Preto in 14th, Matt Carballo rounding out your top 15 of this field, Christian Groyle 16th, Henrik Camera in 17th, Fabio Samperlini in 18th, Neil Bamber, last car to put in a lap, 19th, Ollie Kuoka, who we just saw, 20th.
And then I think the only driver that is going to race after that is the driver in the blackjack position. Alan Faria is going to be in 21st. Let's see. I don't believe any of these other drivers that are behind him are going to be there. Maybe Jimmy Eifling. No. Let's say 21, possibly 22 drivers today for this penultimate round here in season 15 of Formula Neagle, sanctioned by the Absolute Beginners League. Alex Jönsson has led all but 3 laps this season. Dennis Garrison having those other 3 laps. This will be a tall order for Jönsson to lead lap number 1, as he's going to have to get around Michael Kaiser as we quickly fly over the field. My goodness, that was a really... And now we're going to go the other direction. Yeah, I love those camera shots. Thank you, Dougie Beard. We're still waiting to see that one vacant spot there. Waiting for that driver to take that position. Not sure if they are going to.
We are right now waiting for Neil Bamber and Wojtek Podczek to take their grid stalls. The last 2 cars right now.
They better hustle because the engines are starting to harmonize. Not sure if Bambi or Podczek is going to be there. Gather up the chickens, take cover behind the cows. The horses are out of the barn, and it is Michael Kaiser, the newcomer, leading the stampede down into the first corner. Points leader Alex Jönsson right behind him. 3rd, 4th, and 5th, Dennis Garrison, David Third Degree Burns, and Daniel Muff.
And everything is already starting to go into single file formation here. Neil Bamber, I can report, he opted to start from pit lane.
Oh, 1 car spins off in the back of the pack. Is this a little bit of a spin? He gathers it up. It was Alejandro Liero. Little bit of accordion effect going on back there. Luckily, nobody else involved in that one. Meanwhile, up at the front, Michael Kaiser. Down into 8 and 9. I just don't think Janssen is going to have anything for him on this first lap. And this is a rarity, but Janssen is not going to lead a lap. It looks like it. They broke the hairpin. Here comes the entire field. Let's see how they do.
Yeah, this might even be the first lap he's not going to lead. So, yeah, very interesting development here with Michael Kaiser in first.
That's why we always like to see a new name here. Oh, don't give up yet, though. Here comes the Swede with speed, and he blows by him down into the wall of champion chicane. He thought it was going to happen. Something has happened to Kaiser. He's given up spots left and right. Also going by him, Dennis Garrison. My gosh, sometimes the dominance just continues to roll. Alex Janssen refusing not to lead a lap.
He refuses indeed, and he shall pass.
Okay, so Kaiser now back into third. Garrison, the only other driver to lead a lap this season. He has a win in the first round when Janssen gave one away. They race 1, 2, 3. Burns holding on to fourth. Let's look at this battle for fourth right now. This is fun. This is a guy we've been watching, Stefan. We're getting to know him. I am Keeman. He's fun. He's back there looking on the back of Burns.
I am Keeman already getting further than in his very first race, which was at Zandvoort, where he got into someone else. Josh Brain getting into the wall behind him, able to continue, but losing 2 positions there. Very lucky break there for Josh Brain.
Brain in that battle F2 round, losing positions.
Now, I want to tell you something here real quick. Oli Quokka, we saw him, the last car on track, started 20th. He's already up to 12th position.
Wow. There's Quokka right there. We've seen him do this before. He knows how to get through the field.
He knows.
Let's go ahead and look at the very first lap incident here with Alejandro Liero. It's a quick one. And he just spins off. He's still out there racing, and luckily nobody else was collected in this one.
Yeah, this was an interesting one because, as I said, it was an accordion effect for him.
We're a bit to the brain there. There's Alejandro Liero. And now we'll look at it. You can see that they get kind of a little bit of an accordion effect. Point.
There we go. Yeah, accordion effect. He bumps into the car in front of him and thus spins out, hits the wall with his front wing, but not a whole lot of damage on his car, and he can continue.
Not mention anything up front as Janssen starting to run away, but look at this. Garrison in second position being challenged right on board with Kaiser. He's our pole sitter. This is right where he gave up the lead in lap number 1. Let's see what he can do here. He's got a little bit of a run. Let's see if he forces the issue. Stefan, I think he's going to try it.
He is going to try it. He looks like he might do something here as he goes up aside. Kaiser into second, down and through the wall of champions.
That was fun.
Another guy making a move here is Fabian Jungblut, who just got past Daniel Solo, but he now has to be careful as Oli Quokka comes around, trying to take 2 in 1. Up to 10th, up to 9th. He has the inside now for turn 1. Can he hold it? Yes, he can move him up to 9th position.
That's a very interesting pass because it has ramifications in several ways. Daniel Solo back there in 11th. Remember, he's in that F2 championship. He is tied with Josh Brain. Brain racing in 8th right now, several seconds ahead. We're going to ride on board with Daniel Solo. And he was right behind Brain. He has been passed now by Jungblut, got around him. Then we saw Oli Quokka make the move. Quokka on the hunt. About 3.3 seconds behind Josh Brain. He'll get there soon enough.
and Josh Brain is his teammate, remember? So probably we might see there some tiny little bit of what we call team orders.
Yeah.
Pretty much just not fighting your teammate as he is much faster than you. Let's not hold him up.
Gonna jump you up to 4th position. This is Burns. Boy, I Am Keenan just made a stab at him in the hairpin. Lost a ton of momentum. Keenan was really in a great position to make the pass. That's why I took you here. And then he had a horrible exit, so Burns pulling away. But Keenan clearly faster than Burns. Keep an eye on that one as they battle for 4th. About 2.5 seconds behind Garrison in 3rd.
Oh, Josh Brain there with a little bit of a lucky moment. Narrowly avoiding the Wall of Champions, collecting or going way too hard over the first curb on the hairpin.
Well, take a look at this one, and the reason why this happens is he sees Ali Cuoca getting bigger in his rear view mirrors. Cuoca's coming. Watch this one here. Jump one back one more time. We'll look at this one, and this is not the best racing line to take. This can just begin. That gap now 1.7 seconds between Josh and Cuoca. Cuoca coming and coming in a hurry.
But yeah, Josh's brain, the biggest problem right now is you were able to see it right there on your screen. He now has right front wing damage from taking that big curve on the inside. And this might hurt him way more than Cuoca coming up and taking that position away from him.
Look to see if we can see that front wing damage, and that's yeah. So now he's got double difficulty there. Not only he's got a fast driver behind him, he's got an injured vehicle.
We also have some quite interesting development up in front between P2 and P3. That's Michael Kaiser and Dennis Garrison. And Garrison not able to keep up with Michael's pace here for 2nd place. So that is also something we don't really see very often from Dennis.
Remember, Kaiser's your pole sitter, and he was leading the first lap. I'm not sure if he didn't get a slowdown penalty there where he had to let both Janssen and Garrison around him. So now he's got his rhythm back, and he's got about 2.5 seconds to get to Janssen.
And he is faster than Janssen. Last lap, 2/10 faster than Janssen. So we might see something developing here in the near future.
All right, let's go back to 4th again. Don't mean to jump you around so much, but I would like I Am Keenan to get this pass made on David 3rd degree Burns. He gets close. Let's stay with us. The problem that Keenan has is he's had 2 bad exits out of that hairpin. They go through the chicane there of 8 and 9. Now he gets close here, and this is where I'm always watching. I think the pass is going to be made coming out of here. He closes in. Let's see if he can get any kind of decent run out of here.
Speaking about a run being taken, we don't need to go there. Oli Cuoca just went past his teammate Josh Brain. Move him up to 8th place.
That didn't take long. All right, now here we go. This is the closest that I've seen Keenan be in this position. He's going to be too far back unless he really wants to force the issue. Half a car length back. Now he's going to wait. Oh my goodness, boy, he is right there. Gearbox to nose cone. On him like a postage stamp is I Am Keenan.
See, we also have to put Juan Valverde into this fight because he is about 2/10 faster than David Burns in front of him.
Yeah, Valverde has a ton of wins in his repertoire. He's been around for a while. And there you can see the last lap times of those guys. Go on board with the Portuguese driver looking up at I Am Keenan. Good race here for 4th between Burns, Keenan, and Valverde.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm also always having a bit of an eye on Oli Cuoca, and he's already catching the next guy in line, Vincent Graham, really fast.
We'll stay on this one through the hairpin as we watch these 3 drivers go through. Keeman makes a mistake.
Not the first time.
Yeah, Valverde's too far back. Honestly, Stefan, the exit of the hairpin has been his Achilles heel. He just, he gets it wrong more than he gets it right.
Yeah, and it really does hurt him, because he probably is the faster car between the two, but he always gets that hairpin wrong, and it's really costing him.
That's the Portuguese driver in the wall of champion. Boy, he manages to spin that and hit nothing.
But once again, that all inside curve, you're not allowed to hit that, and it's the second guy who hits it. So there you can see what it does to you when you hit it.
It does a pretty good job of trying to get out of that little no man's land there as he comes back. So Valverde falls back now into 10th position. We're going to look at Cuoca, because here's the guy who is coming. He's on the back of Vincent Brain. Boy, you called it, Stefan. Did not take him long to get there. And here he comes.
Yeah, that is now for 6th place. Ole Cuoca already 7th from 20th. And he does. Yes, he does. I can't even finish my sentence fast enough, as fast as he overtakes Vincent Brain.
Let's go to 10th real quick. This is Daniel Solo making a run on Valverde. Are they going to get together? No. They managed to hang in there. Look at the guy. Woo!
Here comes Daniel Moot taking 2 in 1 go. Yes, he does make it through. Does Valverde do something on the inside here? No, he stays back, hoping for a run out of the hairpin.
And a pretty good exit from Solo. He's in the toe, I think. Daniel's going to get this pass made, although Valverde is clearly the faster driver based on reputation, but not right now. He's going to have to do it around the outside. They go side by side, heading into that Quebec wall. Oh, he gets it done even before they get there.
Well, Daniel Solo up to 10th position, and Juan Valverde, he was 6th, now he is 12th.
Up front, things are still pretty much the same. Now, here's the deal. Janssen is up by 2.7 seconds. As much as we'd like to give you some drama, try to sell this as what's going to happen, honestly, Janssen is just a tick faster than Kaiser right now.
Yeah, I think he was kind of testing the waters, what he can do with Michael behind him. But I think he saw that Michael is quite fast, and so he himself is putting the hammer down now for the last few laps to really make a gap between himself and Michael, so nothing can happen between the two.
We ride with our pole sitter currently racing in second, Michael Kaiser. He's got about 2 seconds on Dennis Garrison. Garrison was in second for a little while. Kaiser got him back. All right, now this is fun. This is Daniel Solo and João Valverde. We just saw Solo make this pass last round. Valverde coming back on him. You know, I'm not so sure if Valverde, after that spin and then going over the curbs, hasn't injured the car. He gets it around. He's going to make this pass. Some good racing. Solo in 12th now. Remember, what he's really trying to catch is the driver in 8th position. That is Josh Brain. Those guys tied for the F2 lead.
Tied for F2, but Solo, I don't think, looking at the lap times between the two, that Solo kind of needs a wonder to make that happen. About a second a lap slower than Josh Brain as of right now. And speaking about Josh Brain, he is right behind Vincent Brain and closing.
Honestly, Brain and Solo got that tied position a little bit differently. Solo has been doing it just by consistency, getting in good finishes, bringing the car home. Brain has been faster this season. He's raced up front, a little higher up in this grid, but doesn't always bring it home as well. He's had also some bad races. That's how you end up tied, even though you're not the same pace. Oh, let's go to 5th. Here comes the man on a charge, Stefan Olikoven.
Well, guess what happened in the hairpin once again with IMP Man? Yes, he is Keenan, but yes, he also misses the hairpin like a pro, and once again he did so, giving Quokka the run, and Quokka now in top 5 position.
Yep, that one has really come back to haunt him. I'm going to go ahead and give Ollie Quokka the Hard Charger Award. Usually I do not do it to a driver who doesn't put in a qualifying time, but I saw Ollie try to put in a time, so let's give him credit for that. Up 15 spots.
Up 15 spots in just 11 laps. Sorry, 10 laps.
So, what's he got? Well, you know what? Keeman had nothing for Burns. Let's see what Quokka can do. He's only got 2 seconds interval to get there. The way he's running, I expect him to get there.
Well, I'll tell you something. I have Quokka on my list for the podium.
He's got Burns, and then he's got Garrison.
And both are 1 second / a half second, respectively, slower than Quokka.
We're only a quarter of the way through the race with still 43 minutes yet to go.
It's never too late to do a move.
We still have 20 drivers on the lead lap. The last one being Alejandro Riero. We saw him have issues early on. Kind of searching through the field right now, see if we can highlight anybody a little farther back that's in a battle, but honestly, they're not.
Yes, it's this race once again shows why Gilles Villeneuve is not your battle track. It's quite a technical track, even though it's a fast one, but it's so technical that it really spreads the field out quite quickly, and that's exactly what we see right now. We have Quokka moving through the field, we have a few battles up in front, but that's about it as of right now. Obviously, soon pit stops start to happen, and then we will get back to action again.
Looking at this battle, this is Brain in 8th, and he is gaining little by little on Vincent Braden. 3 points that time. I can report, I think that a fan favorite, Hendrik Kamara, he was racing in about 12th position. Had a connection problem, he's out of the race. Why don't we take this second director to walk the dog a little bit? Let's go back to 13th. I'm going to take the puppy for a little stroll. Let's look at Fabio Zamperlini. We don't know that name very much, but he's out there racing all by himself in 13th. Another driver behind him in the F2 battle is Paulo Prado in 14th. It's about 6 seconds back to a man we watched put on a pretty good show last time, Christian Grelli. The man we were worried if he was going to get to the grid in time, apparently he did. It is Bambi, Neil Bamber. He's in 16th position.
Bamber already gained 3 positions from his starting position. Well, actually, he gained 4 positions because he technically started in 21st.
In 17th, Matt Caballo, racing out of the Northwest. Now, Alan Faria was a little bit higher up last lap. He must have had some issues. He's back in 18th right now. And then finally, the last car on the lead lap that we're going to talk about is the man we saw have the first lap issue. Car number 23, Alejandro Liero. None of those guys in a real battle for position.
Whoa! I have to jump into Ollie Quokka, who nearly ran into the back already of David J. Burns here on the last chicane. Very close between Quokka and David J. Burns.
You know, that was a 2-second gap when we started to walk the dog, and my goodness, Quokka ran down that interval in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, it just tells you how fast Ollie Quokka is right now. His last lap, in fact, was the second fastest lap of the race as he goes to the inside. No, he does not. But yeah, second fastest lap, just a few hundredth of Alex Jönsson's fastest lap of the race.
He's going to get him going into 1. Couldn't get him into the wall of champions. Went through 13 to 14, then he waited. Gets it loaded up a little. Oh, can he get it slowed up in time? He does. Nice pass from Ollie.
That is the joy of turn 1 right here. If you are a little bit too fast for turn 1 for the racing line, you'll still end up on the inside of turn 2 and you're able to block any counterattacks that might happen into turn 2.
Just under 39 minutes of racing to go, and now Cuoca's got a bit of a gap to close. It is 5.8 seconds up to Dennis Garrison. Garrison qualified 3rd. Let's go back to Brain.
He still continues to close in. Of course, he's slightly last lap, 3/10 of the gap between him and Brim, as he makes a little mistake and opens that gap again. Hard work ruined in just a corner.
Yeah. Vincent, a veteran of this series, down into the hairpin.
I can report that Alencar Faria has parked his car at the hairpin. No, wait, he is now towed back to the pits, but he did it kind of like a real racer, parked it behind the wall and then towed his car to the pit lane.
I like that. I saw him have an incident as I was walking the dog there. He had put it in the wall, so I think he just going to call it a day. All right, let's go up and look here at Vincent Brame now in 7th. Josh Brain in 8th. Brame and Brain. As a commentator, I would appreciate it if they would find some type of car to put between them. Could be pit time. Paulo Prado, the Brazilian,
yeah, he's
bringing
having
it in.
some right front damage, if I say it correctly. But might still be a pit stop that is scheduled.
Should be in the window. Should be good.
I'm not sure because he did not take any tires, so he might not be scheduled right there. Well, all we know is he did change his front wing in only 5 seconds, so I'm pretty sure that was not a scheduled pit stop like that.
Well, Alex Johnson is coming in. This is unusual because he does not like to come in until he has to come in.
Well,
and that may be the case because Kaiser is in
everyone.
as well.
Everyone is in. Everyone. Literally everyone is coming in. Oh! Vincent Brame nearly running into the back of I'm Keyman there on the pit entry. But yeah, literally everybody is coming in as of right now.
Well, with that said, I think it's fair to say then that Prado pit stop was scheduled. He's probably just came in 1 lap earlier than everybody else. So Janssen does what Janssen does. He does not lose the lead. Runs it as long as he can. And they come out, Stefan, in the order that they were.
We have a battle out of the pit lane. Brame versus Keyman. And Brame overtakes Keyman there.
Yeah, you know what? Brame was actually closing on Keyman before the pit stop. Keyman continues to go the wrong direction. They were running him down. So now that's Brame. Now is Brain is right behind him. But look at this. Brain and Youngblood in a battle. This is for 8th. There we
Once again shows how critical pit in is. You have to practice it, otherwise you're losing a lot of time.
Let's focus in on the 1 for 6. This one's a little hotter. Keyman, I think, is faster. He just, well, we've documented it. He's just not very good out of quarter 10.
And this has hurt him so many times already. It will be interesting to see if he can get rid of his mistakes that he does into this turn.
About a car length behind. Gets a pretty good run out of there. He's about 3 car lengths back. And he continues to lose ground. It'll be a tall order for him to dive it in there before the 13-14 chicane. Let's stay on this a little while. We've been jumping you around a little bit. Give us an opportunity to look at some racing.
Yeah, it does seem like that Kieman is running higher wing settings than Vincent Bream, because he really takes time to get firstly up to speed with Bream and then to be faster.
He's got a chance now if he wants to force the issue. He doesn't. Boy, that's some nice patient racing. Okay, when you say higher wing setting, you mean that, oh, look, here comes the pass. They are side by side. Let's see if he can get this done. Coming up will be the right-hander. Nope, he's going to wait. So, higher wing setting, you mean more downforce? Is that what you meant?
Oh,
no!
Higher downforce, yes indeed, but it didn't help him right there as he spins out of the turn and loses 3 positions in the process.
We're going to take a look at that one.
Well, let's have a look what happened there. Only did catch the slide and yeah, it's one of those times where he takes the curb but not enough of the curb, so he loses his kind of transition weight to the wrong side, and yeah, off he goes.
But it does set up an interesting dynamic to the race now. 7th position is Josh Brain. He's being chased by Fabian Youngblood, who seems to be really quick. Not that far back is Daniel Muth, and then is Ian Keenan, who we know is fast, and he didn't injure the car, so it'll be fun to watch how this thing plays out.
Yeah, it will be very interesting if these 4 cars can either work together or if they bunch up, or what happens to these 4 cars in the next few laps.
Okay, Stefan, I'm going to have you help me out. We're going to talk about pronunciation of the driver in 9th position. He's from your part of the world. How would you go with M-U-T-H? What would be your call on that pronunciation?
M-U-T-H, in German, you don't pronounce the H, so that is just Daniel Muth.
Muth, okay. As a new driver that we're getting to know, and he is making a run right now. Yes, our director is making puns in my ear.
Yeah, our director has to put $1 into the bun chart.
I like. Oh, you know, sometimes the connection gods, they're merciful, and they just didn't like what I Am Keenan was having happen.
He is still there. He tries to blink back into existence for me. Let's see if he's able to do that, or if the iRacing gods deny him.
Yeah. Kind of an out-of-body experience. He can probably, like, float away and look down on everybody. I Am Keenan. He's back for me. Racing in 10th.
The iRacing gods have granted him existence as they take it away again.
Alright, remember this is a 2-stop event. I've been doing so many of these ABL races, I forget that they changed the rules. They are a 2-stop. Really, it's a 1-stop and a splash and go. 16 cars on the lead lap.
And I tell you something, Oli Kuoka, he is 3.5 seconds behind Garrison, but he is closing in last lap for 10th again. He's trying to get that 3rd place.
We're looking at the interval. It was considerably larger. Remember, we talked about it before. We're only at the halfway mark. I think your podium call is certainly doable for Kuoka.
It's most certainly doable, as we are halfway, pretty much exactly just 30 seconds away from halfway point in this race. So Kuoka, he has still a lot to go, but also still a lot of time left.
I can report that Keenan, along with his internet connection, has had another spin. So we don't need to go there, but he sacrifices his spot to Josh Valverde now gets around him. Because of the blinking, we really can't show you much of what Keenan is doing unless we can put it on the car behind or ahead of him and look up ahead. Otherwise, we blink away. Yep. So for all intents and purposes, we're just going to report on where Keenan is. He is now in 11th position.
Well, Jönsson, we have to do that every now and then, go to our leader. Jensen, he is coming up to his first lap car of this event in the form of Paulo Pareto.
Well, let's stay on this and see how this is done. I've seen Paulo race in several different series. He's a good racer. I don't think he's going to be a problem. Look at this. That's some nice sportsmanship there. A lift, and by you go. That's how you do it. Hold your racing line, just lift on the throttle, and let the leaders go by.
Yes, always stay predictable for the race leader. Don't do sudden movements or anything that could endanger the other drivers.
A lesson that needs to be learned by a lot of new drivers. I certainly didn't realize that when I got in here. I ended up causing more trouble trying to be polite.
And we can report that IM Keyman has now disconnected off the server, not by force, but willingly pulling off the track to not endanger other drivers, once again showing that sportsmanship is gentleman racing.
Boy, you just saw great sportsmanship there by Pareto, and then another cool move there by Keyman, realizing that he's more danger than other drivers get out of the way. All right. All right. The interval now between Dennis Garrison and Ollie Quokka, 3.1 second. Mark it down on your clipboards, boys and girls. Vincent Brame has had an issue. Oh my goodness.
Guess where?
The Wall of Champions.
In very deed, as we go into the replay here for Vincent Brame. It's once again the Wall of Champions. The first apex Paul catches him out. Way too much curb there for his own good. Spins around, avoids the barrier just about, and waits patiently to resume the race.
Another, as you watch right there, look at the more good sportsmanship. You've seen 3 examples and 3 different instances. One, a car letting the leader go by. Another car getting off the track because of internet connection. And then Vincent Brame, who could have donutted that car in front of traffic, waited and let 3 or 4 spots go by before he brought it back out there. If you're a new iRacer, that's how you stay out of trouble. Nice job. Cost him several positions. Now down to 10th. As we look at Ollie Quokka, this will follow up a little bit on Brame and what that meant. He was ahead of Josh Brain, so he loses that position, but he comes out in 10th position ahead of Daniel Solo. Now Brain and Solo are the 2 drivers tied for the F2 crown. Solo now has another driver between him and the man he's racing.
Yeah, everything is coming together here for Josh Brain in the second last race of the season. We have to say that second last race of the season.
There's Josh. And you know, we were talking about that interval between Garrison and Quokka. It was 3.1. Now it's 2.5.
Yeah, last lap 3/10. This lap alone, he already put 2/10. Wow, Ollie Quokka with a save there. That could have meant an end to his ambitions for the podium. Able to save it, and yeah, no big deal for Ollie Quokka as he continues.
Let's go up to Daniel Garrison in 3rd. And we're going to go to Dennis here. Apologies. As he is trying to get around Paulo Pareto here. And again, Pareto doing a good job. And the gap now 3.1 after I think Quokka lost a little bit of momentum on his save there.
Yeah, we're back to about 3 seconds between Quokka and Dennis Garrison, so about half a second lost there for Ollie Quokka. But still only a 10th slower the lap there than Dennis Garrison's.
Our leader works his way around Matt Cabrillo. And there you can see the leader, and there's Cabrillo right behind him. Now in 14th, only 13 cars on the lead lap. Why don't we stay on Matt for a little bit? It won't be long until Michael Kaiser gets to him. We haven't seen much of Michael.
Yeah, Michael about 1 chicane's length away from Matt right now. So it won't take long until Michael also gets around Matt Cabal.
Might get him here before the Wall of Champions. Maybe quarter one. Might have to wait a little while farther back. The next up for Janssen to lap would be Neil Bamber, but Bamber's got about a straightaway lead on him. Not a lot of battles going out on the track right now. Remember, there's still one stop still need to be made. And Stefan, we can't forget that with a 2-stop race, we're not really sure. Oh, a spin from Daniel Solo. Maybe we can get this as we speak, because there's not a lot of action going on. He saves it. Maybe just a little bit back here. This is Daniel having one of those runs. We'll see it coming up right here.
And next turn, it will have a bit of an interesting spin as he is completely straight and then suddenly loses the car, or better said, the rear of the car. Probably just a brake balance issue there, having it too far to the back, and spins out, but can't recover his car.
And let's stay on this replay. We go back live. Vincent Brame had a spin during this replay, and he had a big one. We're gonna see if we can. We'll see if we can find Brame here.
I'm not sure we can go back because he's blinking very badly during that crash for me. So I think there was a bit more going on because he went straight into the wall.
We'll see how long. Oh, he blinks away, and yeah, it's going to be tough. So you can see some type of internet connection there for Vincent. There's a little bit. We saw some of it.
But yeah, instead of going right for that kink in the casino straight, he just went straight on into the wall. So there was some bit more happening to his simulator than just his internet.
We're gonna look at Josh Brain in 6th position. Fabian Youngbluth started 10th, up 3 spots into 7th, and looking to get one more as he comes up on Josh Brain.
Not only that, but right behind him, Daniel Moot. He is your 06 car here in 8th position, right behind him. He also is closing in on the 2 cars in front of him. So if Youngblood and Brain start to fight and fight a little bit too long, then Moot is right there with them.
Qualifying counts for anything. Moot is the fastest one of all of them, as he started this race on the inside of row 3 in 5th position. Oh, and there's a spin from Youngblood. Doesn't hit anything, and Moot's gonna go ahead and vulture that spot. Take a look at it.
Yeah, let's see. Will also be the first time for me to see that one unfold as we go into the chicane. Looks like he takes too much. Yeah, he took too much curb on the first one. Bottoms out his car, no way to steer the car, and yeah, he spins away.
He loses positions to Yao Valverde, and of course Daniel Moot went by as well. Not able to get around is Daniel Solo. Now look at this. Bamber makes a pass. No, he doesn't. Bamber's still back there. This is Bamber making a run.
Solo was in the pit stop.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's why Solo is back where he was. Solo took his second pit stop. That's why he's back in there. And he actually goes around Bamber. I thought Solo should have more pace than Neil. Both these drivers have made both their stops. They're good to go from here.
I'm not sure if that is correct on our timings because he did start from the pit lane. So
yeah,
might have that in there too, but
there you go. Yes, and I'm only showing, yes, if we look at our timing and scoring more accurately, I'm only showing one stop for Bamber. Solo is very loose out of that hairpin. Neil was the driver we were wondering was going to actually get to the grid, and he started from pit lane. He still needs to make one more stop. Now they're starting to come in. Here comes Fabian Youngblood making his final stop.
Yeah, Youngblood deciding here. I had a spin in this lap. It's already a bad lap. Let's make it slower and drive in the pit lane.
So Youngblood out now. Leader of all the cars who've pitted. Youngblood racing in 9th position. Now the battle our director has found is Josh Brain and Daniel Moot.
Yeah, Moot is closing in on Brain, and Walker is also closing on Garrison. We're now within 2 seconds between the two. But obviously Moot and Brain much closer. So we're gonna focus on these two. And actually, Oli Cuoco, you can see it on top of your screen. New fastest lap for him. 1:33.3.
That's what he does. He has got it down to 2 seconds. We'll come back in that one a little closer. Moot. Daniel, new driver. Qualified 5th. Racing back here in 7th. Trying to run down Josh Brain. Brain tied for the F2 championship with Daniel Solo. Solo back in 12th right now.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something, Bill, here. Daniel is right now so fast, we might see something either into the hairpin or into the last chicane on this lap already. Let's see what he can do with his speed.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if he doesn't do it into the hairpin here. He's going to get a good run out of this. This is a passing opportunity.
Already quite close and closing in here on the slipstream. Will he go to the inside? No, he stays behind and waits for the wall of champions.
Yeah, in fact, he not only did he stay behind, he actually gave himself a little bit of room so he can get a good exit off of here. I think he knows he's quicker, although Brain gets a pretty good drive off of that hairpin.
They're already having quite some overlap here on the speed. Brain staying all the way to the right side, giving not an inch for Daniel. Daniel has to go around the outside, but will he be able to clear him into the... Yes, he will be able to clear him into the chicane.
Move him up into...
Oh!
Oh, no!
I think he survived that without damage to his right side.
Take a look at this one. Both Stefan and I were looking at this to see if the car came out okay. Here's the pass on the outside. We're right on board with Cooper. Oh, I don't know.
He hit that quite good, but I think he came out okay because his car is still driving perfectly normal.
And Brain made a stab at it into turn number 7 and locked it up, lost a lot of ground, so now Moot can have a little bit of a cushion. Yeah. Now, this said Cuoco and Garrison. Cuoco had it down to 2 seconds.
We are already at 1.6 seconds here, as you can see on your screen. And not only that, but Garrison has started to close in the gap to Michael Kaiser. They are also just 3 seconds, actually under 3 seconds, 2.7 seconds, as you can see on your screen. So, not only does Cuoco have the chance to get past Garrison, but also he might have a chance at getting second place from, I have to remember once again, 20th.
Yeah. All right, pitting from 5th position is David Burns, making that final stop. Moot
With that, Daniel
out.
Moot into 5th, and also Josh Brain opting to drive another lap. Burns, no tires, off again, off the pit lane mirror, and out he goes.
With the splash and go coming up, it'll be interesting to see how the intervals play out between Kaiser, Garrison, and Cuoco. Again, with a two-stop strategy, it's not... You don't really know if the drivers fill it up all the way on that first stop. It'll tell you by when they have to pit here. And there you can see the interval between them. Kaiser 2.6 back to Garrison. The one that's coming is Quoken coming in on Garrison. All this going on behind Alex Janssen, doing what Alex Janssen does, wire to wire.
And yeah, these three are all closing in on each other, so we might see something developing here for not third, but second.
Indeed, Neil Bamber did have to make that second stop. He comes in. He's now a lap down. Right on board with Ollie. Oh, he's there now. He can smell the exhaust off of Garrison's car. I actually have that for full immersion. I have one of those devices on my rig. When I get close, it sends off an essence of exhaust. Very immersion. You get right in there.
You get right in there, but you can get way too much right in there and actually rear end your car because of like his smell.
That does get you a little loopy if you stay behind them too long. So they're still working on it. 2.5 seconds from Kaiser back to Garrison, but here comes Quokka.
And it will be interesting to see if they are pitting this lap or when they are pitting Alex Janssen. He's not coming up to your pit entry, so everyone else behind him will also pit.
Yep. There comes Kaiser, Garrison, and Quokka. They all come in. You know, you can't help but wonder what kind of race Janssen would have had if Quokka would have been able to put in a qualifying time, because I think Quokka's the second fastest car out there, if not faster than Janssen right now. All right, all four in. What you don't want to do is make a mistake. Janssen hits puts it in the box perfectly.
Quokka already off because he has such an early pit stop. Here he comes. The other two are still standing. Now they go off too. And everyone off the pit limit.
We're out in the same order. Now they come out right behind Neil Bamber. That's Bamber who has already made his stop. That's him getting out of the way. Oh, Kaiser is going to get around Bamber first. Look at this. Garrison now. Look at that interval between Kaiser and Garrison. It's only 0.6 of a second. It was 2.5 seconds before the stop.
Yeah, the stop on Garrison was about 0.7 seconds faster than Kaiser, and Quokka, he was 0.4 slower than Garrison, but still 0.3 faster than Kaiser.
So now with 11 minutes of racing to go, we've got ourselves a battle for second. And Quokka, who I think is the fastest of those three drivers, should be able to get up there as well. We have a nice three-car battle here. Kaiser's got some work to do.
Kaiser has got some work to do, and if he's not careful enough, he will not only lose his second place, but also his third place to Ollie.
Right off the bat, Kaiser. And the two drivers that are running around don't need to go there. This report that Josh Brain came out in 6th position, a second ahead of Valverde, who's a second ahead of Daniel Mooch. So there's a nice little battle for 6th that's going to be shaping up. Let's look at Quokka over the top of his helmet.
And Quokka, I know it seems like he's quite a lot ways back here, but don't forget, Mikey, he will have to go defensive on Garrison, slowing both of them down. Ollie Quokka, he is the fastest guy of all of them. His fastest lap is about 3 to 4 tenths faster than the two guys in front of him. So he will close in, but he needs the help right now of the two guys in front of him to get him there fast and then also have time to overtake, so he doesn't have to rush anything here.
Go back a little bit to P6. Now this is Brain. Remember we talked about him coming out a second ahead? Well, here comes Valverde. The Portuguese driver is running him down. Not far back is Daniel Moot. So a nice battle here for 6th, and then one going on for 2nd. on this one for a while. I'll keep one eye on the Kaiser Garrison. We'll give you a yell if we need to go there.
And it seems as of right now that is the fastest car of the three, so kind of like the situation we have for second place, where the third car in line is the fastest one.
Yeah, Valverde was trying to close on Brain, but loses a lot of time, and here comes Moot. That car up, that is the lap car of Matt Cabrillo getting out of the way. Let's see if Moot makes a stab down there. Now, Moot's a patient driver. I haven't seen him force the issue on anybody yet. I don't think he's going to do it on Valverde either.
Even without the draft, he is right now faster than Valverde, so he seems to be running quite significantly lower downforce than the two cars in front of him, closing in step by step on Valverde. Will he do something into turn one? We shall find out now. No, he doesn't.
I think we're going to have to go way up. Let's go to second, because here comes Garrison on the back of Michael Kaiser.
Yes, just 1/10 between the two. Obviously, as you can see, that's about 1 car length back Garrison is, and Quokka 1.5 seconds behind Garrison. He really is now just waiting patiently for them to start.
Look at the wide entrance that Garrison took into that hairpin. He gets a good drive out of it. Only 2 car lengths back. He's in the tow. He's getting a run. The defensive line taken by Kaiser. Kaiser taking it out of the middle. He's going to make Garrison to go around the top side. Garrison with momentum. I think he's going to finish the job even before the chicane. He does.
Nicely done by Garrison, but he might now have to be careful with Michael Kaiser trying to go back on him. Let's see. No, he also is way too far back there for turn one.
Ollie Quokka back there in fourth saying, mix it up, boys, and I'll be there soon. Good battle here. Kaiser wants that spot back. Let's go to sixth here again. Here it comes. That's Brain. Now with the run is Valverde. Brain takes the defensive line. Pretty much deja vu of what we just saw between Kaiser and Garrison. Valverde makes the pass. Brain falls back into seventh, but here comes Daniel Moot. Moot with a run out of that chicane. Will he force the issue down into one? I don't think that's Moot's operating. That's not how he races. He waits for the right opportunity. He sits back there. Great battle going on for sixth.
Great battle for sixth, and also great battle for second as Michael tried to do something on Garrison. Makes a mistake into the chicane, outbrake himself, and Quokka is now within a second of the 2 cars in front.
Just about 6.5 minutes of racing ago. Now we go back to the other one. This is Brain and Moot battle for seventh as Valverde starts to race away from these guys.
And please keep the timer on your top left of the screen in mind. We're just 6 minutes away from the end of the race, so about 4 more laps for everyone here.
You're able to follow along with us as we're watching 2 battles. We're going to jump you around between the battle for 6th, 7th, and 8th, and 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And right now, I think Brain is in jeopardy here for 7th. I think Moot has a good run. Here he comes. A car length back, a half a car length back. Brain takes a weave at the end there, Steffi. Ooh. A little late for my liking.
But that's exactly the risk that you kind of run as the car in front with late defensive moves. When you make them too late, you kind of make them at the same time as the car behind. But here comes Daniel Moot into first turn, still side by side, going into the second turn. Now he is in front of Josh Brain, move him up into 7th position.
Brain back into 8th. And I can say that Solo is racing back in 10th position. So that battle for the F2 championship is going to be made close. All right, let's go to P2 because here comes Kaiser. He's in the tow.
He is in the tow, and he might just about make it to the chicane to do something here against Garrison. He goes to the outside. Let's see if he dives in there. Yes, he does. Side by side, wheel to wheel, and he has to give up the fight again.
I thought he was going to try to pin Garrison tight, but he doesn't.
Now, Ollie Quokka just 7/10 behind it too. So he is closing in step by step.
See that on screen there? Times between them. I can report that 6th, 7th, and 8th, that's spread up now. I think they've got it figured out, the fastest car in front. Valverde, Moot, and Brain will check back in on them with just under 4 minutes of racing to go. The battle right now is for second.
Yeah, it's safe to say that we will stay on this race here right now for second position until we have to go to Jensen to congratulate him on the win. But as of right now, the action is all for second place.
Garrison qualified 3rd, racing in 2nd. He had been in 2nd, lost it to Kaiser. Kaiser was your pole sitter. Gave up that lead early on, fell back to 3rd, been fighting back. But then the man who's been coming from 20th, Ollie Quokka. The going's getting a little tougher here as the competition gets steeper. Oh, they're probably the closest they've been, all 3 of them now. Quokka in the hunt.
All 3 within 1 second right now. So this battle really is on. But now that Dennis Garrison is in front, it might now be that Michael is not 100% able to stick with Garrison. So we shall see how this lays out here for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
Garrison seems to have a little more straight line speed than Michael Kaiser. Boys, they work their way through 1 and 2. Kaiser on him.
Garrison might have the top speed on Kaiser, but Kaiser most definitely a much better driver on the brakes. So even though he might not have the top speed, he might still be able to do something into the last turn here at Montreal.
He does close up. Maybe Quokka has a hard time racing with these guys as well down the straight. Good battle for 2nd right now. Garrison. Kaiser right behind him.
Yeah, Quokka seems to have used up his tires a bit too much, as he's not able to close in all that much on these guys anymore as he was before the pit stop. So yeah, Quokka might have outplayed himself a little bit with his pace, but because they're fighting so hard, Quokka still has a chance at this podium.
Kaiser took a tight inside line. Gets a pretty good drive even with that tight line out of the hairpin. Here comes Michael. On Garrison, tighter than a new pair of shoes on a rainy day. Now he moves to the outside. They are side by side. He's not going to force the issue. He will have to wait. Down into 1. Again, he could make a stab at it here. The white flag is out. Does
White
not do
flag.
it. And all this racing has brought Quokka right into the mix.
One last lap for everyone to decide this. This might end in a clash. This might end in just like this. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Here it comes.
But here comes Quokka to the inside. He goes out, breaks Michael, and move him up to 3rd place.
There's the podium that Stefan predicted. That cost him a little bit of time, though. Now he is about 7/10 behind Garrison. Quokka will have to do it. Look at this. Kaiser fighting back. Side by side, they go beneath the overpass. Quokka able to hold him off.
And this might seal the deal for Garrison for P2, as these 2 guys are now starting to fight really hard here for the last step on the podium. Michael Kaiser trying to break here later.
Janssen on his way to the Wall of Champions. Garrison able to hold off Quokka. Quokka able to hold off Kaiser. But once again, it has been a wire-to-wire performance for the Swede with speed, Alex Janssen. He wins once again the penultimate round. Let's go to Garrison. Garrison through the Wall of Champion. He's going to hold him off. Garrison, Cuoca, and Kaiser, second, third, and fourth.
I tell you, one more lap and Cuoca would have probably had a shot at second here, but we're now jumping back to sixth here. That's between Joao Valverde and Daniel.
With a chance at this, Valverde weaving like a loom, trying to break the draft. Now he moves back out to driver left. Here comes Moot. Is he going to force the issue? I haven't seen Daniel really be all that aggressive. He waits. He's a good, polite driver. That politeness is going to cost him sixth position. Joao Valverde, the Portuguese driver, gets sixth. Daniel Moot gets seventh.
And right behind him, Josh Breen over the line for eighth.
Young Moot gets ninth position, and then Daniel Solo, the last car on the lead lap, out of the hairpin right now, is going to get credited with 10th. Going to lose a little bit of distance between him and the man he's racing for the F2 Championship, Josh Breen, but nevertheless, it'll be close enough to matter when we go to the season finale next week, well, in 2 weeks. All right, the racing is over here in Montreal, but our broadcast is far from done. We'll take a short break. We'll come back to run down the entire finishing order, talk to some of the drivers before we put a lock in the gate. Back in a few. Sanctioned by the Absolute Beginner League from Montreal Circuit, Gilles Villeneuve. Welcome back to the Global SimRacing Channel's coverage of Round 5, Season 15, Formula Neagle Championship. let's go ahead and give you the finishing order of the race you just saw. Well, he does what he does. Wire to wire for Alex Janssen as he continues to increase his point lead, and I can announce that he has clinched the championship, so even if he is abducted by Martians, he will be the Season 15 champion. Dennis Garrison is going to finish second in a great battle put on there between him and Ali Cuoca, who gets third, and Michael Kaiser. And Stefan and I were talking during the break. We thought maybe the most important part of this race might have happened before the race, as we watched Ali Cuoca not be able to put in a qualifying time. If he would have been able to start up front, he might have had something for Janssen. David Third Degree Burns rounds out your top 5. The back half of your top 10, well, it was exciting as well, as Yal Valverde and Daniel Amut were able to get around Josh Brain. Valverde goes 6th, Boot 7th, Brain in 8th. Fabian Youngbluth comes home in 9th, and then the man who's still in the hunt for the F2 champion, Daniel Solo, gets the 10th position, last car on the lead lap. Stefan.
Last car on the lead lap, Daniel Solo. First car on the lead, on the one lap behind. Fabio Sampolini in 11th. Neil Bamber 12th. Matt Carballo in 13th, and that's already your last car finishing here. 14th, Paulo Preto, Vincent Brehm, I'm Kieman, Christian Greule, that's 17th here already, 24 laps behind. Alencar Faria, Alejandro Leiro, Henrik Camara losing his connection very early, and the last car to take the green flag, Thomas Kick in 21st.
And there you have it. Now I have the pleasure of being able to talk with our race winner, Alex Janssen. Again, I am pushed to find out what I'm possibly going to ask the Swede with speed about. Alex, wire to wire. Well, let's go right to the very beginning. You were able to get the lead on that coming out of the hairpin on lap number 1.
Yeah, the idea was for me to lead Michi during the race because I had a little bit faster race pace. So the plan was to pull away from Dennis. Apparently that didn't work very well for Michi, but success for me.
Yeah, we thought maybe something going on there as that pass was made. Lap traffic seemed to be easy for you. A few cars you had to get around was nice to you. It was, I know it's never easy, but you made it look easy.
Yeah, I never pushed so hard in a race. I think that was one hell of a race. It was a lot of fun, though.
I thought the turning point of this race might have happened. I'm not sure if you're aware, but Ali Cuoca did not put in a qualifying time. He drove from 20th up to 3rd. He had some pace. He might have had something for you if he could have got to race with you early.
Yeah, definitely. Oli had a pace on me today, I think, but holy shit, he did one hell of a good race himself.
All right, well, Alex, I would like to see you go wire to wire one more time. Let's close out the season. You've led all but 3 laps this season. Let's see what you can do with the final coming up.
I'll do my best.
And I'm going to give you the congratulations. I think mathematically you're the champion, so well done.
I am the champion indeed. We played Queen, we are the champions when we drove over the line.
It has been.
Yeah, this has been a great season for me. Not gonna say anything else.
Great. It has been fun to watch your race. Bring it home the same way. Good luck to you the rest of the way.
Thank you, guys.
Alex, a fun champion indeed. A good interview. That was fun. All right, Stefan, who you got?
Yeah, very, very excited. Alex Janssen there, obviously saying some things that you don't really say on international TV, but we're now here with Oli Cuoca, your 3rd place finisher starting from 20th. Oli, before we talk about your race, what happened in qualifying? Why were you not able to set in a qualifying lap?
Good evening, first of all. Yeah, I mean, the reason behind my qualifying performance, which was actually none, was that I was in pursuit of a spotter, because my spotter came shortly when my one of our spotters, on Alex spotter, Nicholas, he said to me, I think like 15 minutes before the race or so, that his friend, my spotter, Casper, is sick, so he won't be there today. And I freaked out, just like, not because he wasn't there, but because I didn't have a spotter. So I tried to get a spotter, just as soon as possible, but in the end I missed qualifying by, I think, 20 seconds or so. I could have got a lap in, but yeah, not enough time. Anyway,
Well, it was very close there for you on the pit, on the straight. You were already straight when the checkered flag fall, but going up to your race, that first stint, wow, that was dominant performance there from you cutting through the field. How did it feel for you there, cutting through the field and then ultimately getting up to third?
well, to be honest, I enjoyed it. It was like Montreal was pretty much. I said to my team, as well as Alex, etc., that I will join for the rest of the season just to have fun, just to enjoy myself and just get into the rhythm again. And I said, Sanford and Imola are tracks that I hate, so I won't be good at them. But when we come to Montreal and Monza, especially Montreal, you guys are going to see what I can do. That's what I said to my team. So for some reason, I was totally concentrated. I didn't have any pressure whatsoever. And unlike Imola, on the last lap where Liam got me in the last corner, I was stressed out completely in that situation. In this race, all the way through, even in the last lap, I was totally calm. And I've rarely had this feeling. So this race felt satisfying.
Satisfying it felt to you, satisfying it felt to me, because I put you on the podium during the first stint of this race, so I'm also quite satisfied with my prediction right here. But yeah, it was so fun to watch you, Aldi. Thank you for that, for not putting up a qualifying lap. But yeah, any things you want to say before we release you into the wild again?
Yeah, I would like to thank iRacing, Extreme Gameware, and obviously my team. Because after Imola, when Liam got me, I was destroyed. I immediately went out of Discord, completely shut down my computer, and I could have just vanished, if that makes sense. I was totally destroyed mentally. But team had trust in me. They built me up again, and yeah, I really have to thank them for their work all the way. Like Alex, in terms of performance, we're pushing each other very, very hard all the way through the season, and all the other guys who are just there when needed. And this is something that's very rarely nowadays. And this is an immensely strong team, not just in terms of capabilities, in terms of driving, but also mentally.
Well, that is Ollie Quoker there, not only having great teammates, but also apparently great friends there in his team. And yeah, we also have to thank them, because he really did put on the show there for us today, Soup.
Absolutely. I hope you viewers enjoyed those interviews as much as I did. Those were two great interviews. Thanks to Alex and Ollie for putting on not only a great show on the track, but then coming to talk to us and really expressing yourself. Thanks, guys. Hey, here's some more thanks. How about everybody at the Formula Neagle for contracting with GSRC to broadcast this series? Boy, we'll enjoy doing it. Thanks to the companies, equipment, and software you see on the screen now that we use on the broadcast. The original music that gives every GSRC broadcast that unique flavor and feel is thanks to Eric Eckham and June Milan. See the screen to how to contact each of them. Did you enjoy what you just saw and you want to see it again? It's going to happen in 2 weeks for the season finale. It's going to be at Monza. GSRC will be there. We hope you join us. Sliding across your screen now are some of the upcoming broadcasts, so check those out and mark them down on your calendar. If you'd like more information about GSRC, including a complete list of future broadcasts, you can find it at globalsimracingchannel.com. We're also on Twitter at GSR Channel, Facebook at Global SimRacing Channel, and Instagram at GSRC_Graham. And while you're here, if you haven't done so yet, subscribe by simply clicking that big red button so you can be part of the 7,000 plus subs that we have on the GSRC YouTube channel. Finally, on behalf of the entire crew, Steph, Sean, and Dougie, I'd like to thank you all for watching. With that said, we're off to have fun storming the castle. So until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.